Welcome to the Mountains of Greece podcast series. This is part of the broader Mountain Stories, Mountain Futures podcast project. These interviews follow up on our recent Mountains of Greece conference held at the British School at Athens in October 2025. We want to explore a wide range of stories from people working on different areas of mountain landscape, mountain heritage in Greece. That involves thinking about the past, but also thinking about the future. How can we find new ways of engaging with history, heritage and conservation in the mountain landscapes of Greece? How can we ensure a sustainable approach to environmental and cultural preservation? I'm Jason König from the University of St Andrews.
And I'm Maria Christodoulou, a clinical herbalist exploring the wisdom and whimsy of ancient Greek herbal medicine as the Greek herbalist.
It's a great pleasure to welcome Stefanos Sidiropoulos. Stefanos is manager of the Bafi and Refuge refuges on Mount Parnitha, north of Athens. We'll hear some more about those in a moment. He's also, among many other things, CEO of Trekking Hellas, which is one of the largest, possibly the largest, actually, outdoor and trekking company in Greece, celebrating the 40th anniversary this year, I think, founded in 1986. Yes. Trekking Hellas does a huge range of outdoor activities, hiking, climbing, rafting, kayaking, many, many other things, inspiring youth adventure camps in the mountains. So obviously Trekking Hellas and other outdoor companies too have a huge part to play in the future of the mountain landscapes of Greece, and we'll be hearing a bit more about that later on. So welcome, Stefanos. It's great to have the chance to talk to you today.
My pleasure.
Are you up in the refuge today, or are you down in the city?
I just came down. I was there for more than 10 days. You know, the schools have started, and we have to be here for the kids.
I should say we're recording this online, and it's early January 2026, so I'm actually recording from Scotland. It's absolutely freezing here. It's -3 degrees this morning and heavy snowfall up in the mountains. So I assume it's not quite that cold in Athens. Okay, so we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. We're going to talk more about the refuge in a bit, but I'm going to pass over first of all Maria to get us started.
Yeah, it's great to join the podcast. And Stefanos, I'm really excited to talk to you today. Could you tell us a little bit of how you came to be interested in the mountain and outdoors? And was this an important part of your childhood, or did this interest develop later on as an adult?
I can't say that my parents were the people who introduced me to the beauty of nature. And this is because they were hard-working people with very little free time. But one of our few outings, it was on the Mount of Olympus. And as we were driving up from Litophoro towards Trionia, they stopped at one of the beds in the road, and I was fortunate enough to see a pair of eagles flying through the Nipeas Gorge. I think that image was the moment inside me. I said, this is what I want to do. Something connecting me with the nature.
Yeah, that sounds like a very special moment, especially near Mount Olympus, which is such an iconic mountain in Greece and it's very historical. And then how did you develop your interest in mountains, and how did you become sort of a mountain man?
I don't know if I am a mountain man, but I have a lot of experience, of course, because I have for more than 20 years living in the mountain of Parnitha. I can say that when I was less than 20 years old, that with my friends, we went to some mountains close to Athens, about 2-3 hours, and we put tents somewhere and stay for 1-2 nights, but without the mentality of the outdoor guide and having trekking and hiking and things like that. Just be on the nature, like take a company and speaking and have fun there. So we're more happy to be there than in a bar. And this was the continuing of the eagle of the gorge in Nipeas. But the moment that it was starting to be clearly in my mind was when I was I think after the army, I decided to go to a school which was to be a guide in national parks. It was like a college. It was a public school for 2.5 years for exams. And for this 2.5, almost 3 years with the practice, I was sure that was my future job. And this is that I would like to do. And it was clearly that for me that I would like to guide kids on the nature. In the same time, I asked to work like a guide in the Trekking Hellas, and this was the next step to be here now.
Great. Yeah, we'll come back to trekking Hellas in a minute. But maybe the next step is to talk a little bit about the refuge. Can you tell us a little bit about the story of the Bafi Refuge? When was it built? Why was it built? And how did you come to be involved in that?
It was built in 1937 by the members of the Hellenic Alpine Club of Athens. The idea it was to serve the needs of the club's members, so the people that skiing this period have a place to stay, eat, drink, and sleep and have their activity. I love to speak with old people. I like to have friends that is more than 78 years old. So all the people that are coming in the refuge all these years, for me was a place that we can speak and learn more about what happened in the past. So we find out that in 1940 to 1945, in the Second World War, this place was a strategic place for the Nazis. So they take this place from the Hellenic Alpine Club and they keep it for their needs. But they allow the people of our Alpine Club to come and stay in the fireplace, sleep there, and have their skiing for one night. One night there in the refuge. So even in these bad years, the Hellenic Alpine Club used to be there and they use the service of this building. My involved was in 2004 when I announced that they will lease this building, and I remember it was a great enthusiasm about this, and I decided not only to take part in the competition, but also to describe in my proposal that I would live permanently at the refuge and operate it year round. And I think this wasn't one of the reasons that they decided to give it to me. It was involved, of course, in the taking a loss. I remember then in college that was very happy to move in the mountain of Parnitha and manage this place. It was a difficult decision because I was 26 years old, but I was very happy. I was enthusiastic with this thing, and I remember that a lot of dreams about the future, how we can bring people, how can give to the family the opportunity to be there, to the schools, camps, all these things that we can see that now it's real. And more than 3,000 kids are coming with the school excursions every year. We have periods of camps for 10 days, and we have thousands of people. They are coming with their families, with their kids, even if they are coming just for food. I think this is a beginning. It's a good thing, and it's something that is working for the future. So I am very, very happy about this.
So the refuge is really, really busy and really flourishing now. But I think you said before that the early days were different and not so many visitors to start with.
It was in 2004, nobody was on the mountain. If you say Mountain Parnitha, all the people will say to you, I know Mountain Parnitha, where is the casino? It was the only answer that you had. From 2004 until 2007, I invested a lot of time and money. I went to the bank, asked for money, and tried to rebuild this place because they were the Alpine Club. It was volunteers that they were going just for the weekends of the winter. So all the other time this building was closed. So we started to rebuild it, and these three first years from 2004 to 2007, it was a mix of working for the building and try to say to the people that there is a place there that you can come, stay, eat, and have outdoor activities. It was a difficult period and financial, and it was hard working days. And few people, just for the Saturday and Sunday, visit the place and they have the services of the refuge. I think that when we just start to say that, okay, this is, maybe it's financial, it will be starting to be sustainable and we can make it, we have the fire of the forest. It was 28th of June in 2007. And all the people in Athens thought that all the mountain of Parnitha are lost, burned. So we have more time to replanning and say that, okay, yes, it was a big fire in the core of the national park, 50,000 hectares burned, but there is northeast place of the mountain that is still alive, and you have to continue coming on the mountain because without the people, I don't know how the mountain can know the infrastructures that it need to be a place that you can visit it. Otherwise, it will be a wild place for the weekend for the diaspora. which maybe it's okay. But if we want to have both and the sustainability of the nature and in the same time the population of the city learn about the nature, we have to find out the golden decision how this can be sustainable and something like that.
We've obviously had quite a few wildfires throughout Greece and more recently in 2003 on Parnitha again. What general or overall impact have these fires had on the mountain, and what steps have been taken to prevent or control the spread of wildfires on the mountain? Because the destruction is quite vast.
It's a difficult question. I'm not sure I can answer that. I think that we have the climate change, okay? You cannot make something or involved in this. But if you see on the past, you can see that in 1980, let's say, in Athens, it was again for 2 or 3 years, period without rain, without water, without snow. It was too hard to stay in Athens because many people died, I think, with this period in Greece. So maybe it's a circle that it's going up and down. Maybe we have to stay calm and avoid the summertime to get out to forests because it's windy, it's warm, it's a heat. I don't think that we can change it or we can involve. You can see even in California, where the government of the US have many infrastructures, many planes and firemen and all these things, and they cannot make it. At the end, the fire will finish when it will finish, when the wind will stop, when it will go in the coast of the sea, or just change the wind and stop the fire. I don't think that if we will grow our expenses with more helicopters, more planes, more people that will be on the fire, we will stop the fire. Okay, I can understand and I agree that if we be proactive, if we have more drones to check the fire so you can stop it in the beginning, it will help. But for sure, the fire starts, and if you have 4, 5, 6 days dry weather with 40 degrees and no snow in the winter, no water in the spring, it's very difficult to stop a fire. I was a fireman for, I think, one summer. I went in a lot of fires, 26 fires in one period. It was in 2002. And I know from my experience that it's very difficult to stop the fires in the forest.
Yeah.
One thing that we can do is to give our knowledge, to bring the kids in the nature, and the kids will learn about how important is this forest for us, and specifically for the capital of Athens. So if the kids learn about the need of this place, so as they were growing, they will understand that they have to protect it. So they will avoid make fires for fun or just make their meat, to avoid to drop their garbage, to avoid to make noise in the forest, to avoid to come with their cars all the time in the forest. So they will learn to protect it and respect the nature. This will be very helpful for the future, and it's something that we can do it beside education, and of course many people have to cooperate on this thing. And first of all, the government and Ministry of Education.
Yeah, that's an area where we actually can make a difference, which is good to know. I mean, clearly parts of Parnitha have been damaged by the fire. So I've been hiking a bit in West Parnitha recently out to the Cave of Pan and elsewhere. A lot of the paths are very badly burnt and trees down over the paths. It makes it harder to hike. But it's still, despite that damage, Parnitha is an incredibly beautiful place. And I mean, maybe it's worth saying actually for those who haven't been there before, the refuge itself is just an amazing place to visit, isn't it? It's you go up through the suburbs, the north of Athens, up past the casino, as you say, up the switchbacks. It feels as though the city is very close as you're driving up. But then you turn around the corner and within just a kilometre or two, it feels as though you're entering a completely different world. There's an amazing sense of shelter there. So yeah, I just wondered if you might be able to tell us a bit about what you love about Mount Parnitha, and are there any special places on Parnitha that you love going back to?
Love everything, Parnitha. Any place, any time, and any period. I don't say that when it's snowing it's better or when it's sunny it's better. I think that every moment is beautiful and you can enjoy and have fun and be happy because you are there. Of course, there are some routes, there are some paths that it's close to the refuge, and we used to walk there. Like I really enjoy hiking towards Kipiza. It's a beautiful path. You can go to the other side of the mountain, and you can see a view from east to west and north. You avoid just the Athens, so it's one reason more that I like this place. One favorite route of mine is the circuit of Mount Parnitha. It's about 2.5, 3 hours, it depends how you are working. I will mention something special that is a visit to the cave of Pan. Something different will be cycling around the mountain. It's 16 kilometers, make the circle from the road, and because it's closed for the cars, you are free to run and cover all this beautiful circle with your bike. If you have a stronger hiking group or friends, you can make a traverse from south to north and start from Thracomakedones or even from the refuge and go to Avlona. This is 5 hours maybe, and you can take the train and go to Athens directly. So it's a beautiful thing to see from the fir trees to go to the other side to the pine trees and see all this different view of the mountain. Climbing and fun sites all around its rocks from west to east. You can go east to Varibobi, where is the first climbing area in Athens and in Greece actually. All the people that start to be mountaineering guides, they start climbing in the place of Varibobi. We call it Petras Vrachos Liagou, Petras Liagou. It's stone of Liagou because Liagos was one of the first climbing men in Athens. From the other side, from west, there's a huge area that you can climb for years maybe. Huge area for many, many climbing. But in any case, if you have the time and the luck to have friends and company around you, because it's not nice to walk and trekking and hiking alone, and for safety reasons, Parnitha has more than 250 kilometers of recorded trail network. There are more. It's much more. As well as many more paths that have been lost over time. So as long as you have the desire to walk, there is no shortage of options. It's full
Fantastic.
of paths.
Lots of great recommendations there. And I mean, it's a big, big mountain, is it? You could spend half a lifetime or a whole lifetime exploring it.
Jason, I'm there to end 2 years now, and
Yeah.
I think that I have a lot of to explore.
Yeah. Well, that's great to know.
One of the really exciting initiatives you have been working on recently has been the first ever mountain trail for people with disabilities in Greece. Could you tell us a bit about your experience working on that project and describe it in a bit more detail of what the trail will be like?
Indeed, the trail of people with disabilities is the most beautiful project that I have been involved recent years. It's a project that excites. I started that as long as I will say that if I am okay with my health, whatever difficulty we may need to face, we will do it. The project will be completed. It was difficult. We started in 2020 in the COVID period. I created a team which called Access to Nature, and we started with this 6 people there. I work a lot in many meetings to find out good practices that happen in other countries for this thing. So after 5 years, in 2025, we start in 2021, 2021 we finished a study and we sent it to the Ministry of Environment. And in 2025, I think it was July to August, something like that, we take the last permission. It was a lot of things that you have to do with all this, the forest. So we start on October, end of October, I think, we start the constructions. And more details is that is a path, we say M1, that is path 1, which is 107 meters, and the path 2, which is make a circle inside the forest, where is the parking of the refuge. Inside the forest is 435 meters. The first path, you can go there and start use it. We need some small details to finish it. And the other part is the middle, let's say. But because of the weather, of the snow and all of this situation, I think maybe at May, because after February we will start again to work there. But I think we will have completed and delivered for use the first forest trail for people with disabilities.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
It's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, that's really inspiring to hear.
The idea is not only to serve the visitors with mobility difficulties who eventually come to the refuge, but also for this project is to become a model for creating similar trails in other regions of Greece, because it will be the first one. We have late 2026, so we will have free for our knowledge about this, the study and all these permissions that you need to create a path like this, and we will give it for free in anyone that would like to create something in his area. This is our idea, this is our vision about this work that we have done until now. We have come on.
Thanks, that's really inspiring to hear. And actually, that's a good cue to move now beyond Mount Parnitha and look a bit more broadly at the other work you do with Trekking Hellas. Could you tell us just a little bit more about what you do, what Trekking Hellas does, and what that involves for you day to day?
Trekking Hellas was founded in 1986, as we say in the beginning. It's extremely important for us because we are celebrating 40 years since the company establishment. It will be a year of offering our services in Greece without basis. Trekking Hellas established in 1986, but in 1997 created a model that it's a franchise system. It is a model company, as it has created a network of 24 companies at present through the franchising system, but it's something that you cannot find it globally. I try to find something because I would like to see good practice. I know that you cannot create everything, but still I cannot find in the world something that it will be like this. I mean, to find in our sector of outdoor recreational activities, you cannot find a franchising system. In any case, it's something that is growing. When I start to be president and CEO in the company and see about what we are doing with the franchise system, it was 7 or 8 companies. And now we are 24. In 26, we are ready to sign the contract with new franchise in the island of Kerkira. So we'll be 25. And we have discussions that is, I think maybe in 26, otherwise in 27, we'll have another company in Laconia, in Peloponnese. That's a beautiful place, and I think that we'll have very, very nice activities there too. Now, for me, I started in the company before 25 years ago as an assistant, as I say. I was in the operation department. So I was in the office, but in the same time, all the time I was outside with activities, being like an assistant and to the guides, transfer the boats and the bikes and all this equipment that you need with the activities. It was a progress that I'm still cannot board in this procedure. All the time I have to change department, and I think it's happened quickly. Even if you say 25 years, it's a lot of period. I think that to start from an assistant without money and to be a president and CEO of this company, that it's not huge. It's not a big, we're a small company actually. But it's something, it's a difficult model. It's a lot of work beside this that we can see. So I think that it's very good. It happened very well and soon. In the same time, and in all this period, I've been owner of first in the Parnitha. So 2004 I went there to the refuge, and 2005, 1 year later, we created the first base in Mount Parnitha. And in 2011 we have another base in Santorini. That these bases, I am the owner of this base, so I have a responsibility of them. But it's different to say I have to manage the franchise system, 24 bases. You can understand more about the needs of the people if you have a company. I am the field, my involvement in the field of activities is for recreational reasons. That is, I will take part in activities, but with my family, with friends, who can go together and have fun. Just this. There is a large team of guides and executives who are involved in sales and operation of our services. My own involvement is mainly focused on the management of the central offices and the franchises. This is my day-to-day job, let's say, in Turkey.
Well, it sounds like you stay very busy, but you still make time to spend time outdoors and have fun. What is some of the ways that you encourage people to spend time outdoors? And what can people do in their own lives or with the people in their lives to make that happen? And are there things that we can do at the school level to encourage children to spend time outdoors outside of school activities?
Thank you for this question. It's the next major project, the outdoor culture, as we can say. All these things, it's a huge thing. It's something that we have started working on many, many years as a company. That it means that we cannot make big changes in our country, but we give a proposal to the Ministry of Education and start now, and after 20, 25 years, as we have a small discussion with Jason yesterday, we need a generation to change this thing. So it is a change that needs to be made with involvement of the state. I'm sure that we need 20 to 25 years one generation because we need to educate this generation from the age of 5 so that the children of these children develop an outdoor culture and give it to their children that it will be happen. We, as a company now, through school trips, family programs, and our camps, we try to pass the children knowledge with become a need to protect the natural environment. And this happens through our activities. I can guarantee that in our camps, because we have more days, we have 2 weeks, 10 days at least, we have the time and we give more and maybe some of these kids of the future, they will remember this thing and they will give it to their kids. But it needs something to be, because I would like that to be for all the children and not only for the children that their parents have money and they send them to the private school. Because this is what happened. Our clients is for all the private schools in Athens. We have all the private schools in Athens. Clients, they send their kids to our camp, they send the schools excursions in our bases, but few public schools are coming because their family, they cannot pay and they cannot come. Okay, we give some free excursions to some schools that we know that they are in a difficult financial position, their families. We give free for the families that they have more than 4 kids. But this is just one company for some schools. It's not for all the schools and not for all the areas. Now, what is, in my opinion, is that to analyze that, is getting to know nature through outdoor recreational activities is a pleasant way to pass through play our love for the mountains and more generally for Greece's wonderful natural environment. It's so simple. You have to get out, have fun, be on the nature, open your mind, and then to give the knowledge to the kids. For me, there is no other path. More specifically, we need a clear legal framework that will describe who can provide outdoor recreational activities and how. We don't have this. I try a lot with our federation, more than 10 years now. I don't know why it's so hard to create a law that clearly say which companies can offer this, how they will train themselves, their guides. So we need the training and certification of all these professionals that involved in this sector. We need synergies, as I said before, synergies among the public sector, the private sector, and the associations, all these clubs and all these people that they are volunteers, I don't know, but they are involved with nature and the activities. And at the end, education through Ministry of Education from the school to get out, make activities like more scheduled than as we say before. You have to make a plan and start working on that. It's a huge thing that for sure not just breaking a law and not just the ministry can do it alone. We need more people inside this.
Yeah,
the public companies that they will pay for this.
Yeah.
They will pay for the public school to get out, as was in the ancient Athens.
Fantastic. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's really inspiring to hear about that focus on education in what you do in Trekking Hellas. But you're right, that last point is really important, that policy matters as well, and that legal framework. And there's a long way to go in that. Just one final question before we finish is really about the future of the mountain regions in Greece. I mean, obviously there's a really expanding interest in trekking and outdoor activity in Greece, but at the same time, the mountain regions of Greece are facing lots of challenges. Clearly, we've talked about the wildfires. There are other challenges too. So my question really is, can the outdoor industry in Greece help with those problems? Obviously, you've talked about education as one way of doing that, but are there other ways too? In other words, what are the priorities for an outdoor industry that's environmentally sustainable, engaging with local communities? What can you do to make a difference?
I can speak globally because trekking is one company who can do what we can do, but it's a small thing. It's not a big thing. Okay, we can show the road, but we cannot change the world. Again, we have to create clusters. It's the only path. Synergies among local business, hotels, restaurants, transport providers, travel agencies, together with local authorities, municipalities, communities, as well the regions and NGOs. So these three different things can combine and can create a large series whose focus is not only in the sustainability of the natural environment, because sustainability is not only for the environment, but sustainability for the full scope. It's a sustainability policy that can ensure the locals remain in their places, provide them with some incomes to continue working, and to develop economical, intellectual in their villages or maybe in their islands. We have to create something for the people that they are staying in their villages and the small islands to stay there, or maybe the people that they have leave the villages and be in the big cities to have something to go back. It's very difficult to create that. Of course, it's infrastructure. Is a big need. Roads, ports, airports, hospitals, trails. We need trails. But above all this, again, education is needed so that people can ensure quality and safety at all levels of tourist product and be back to their village and start working there. We have many ministries to combine and take decisions. It's the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Tourism, for the people that they are on the fields and with animals. All this to work together and have a scope, a common scope, and get involved in the entire process. And last, but always not least, is small cooperatives that represent each region. For me, this is very, very important. Small cooperations that will make a difference. They will make an identity in its place. To create a stronger local interest, make it attract others from the cities, so they will return back to the roots, like it was in the past. It's something that sometimes we have to start from the bottom, and we can connect together, and slowly, more and more people come in this idea, and at the end, maybe we can change the things. It's the only way.
Thanks, Stefanos. That's a really powerful vision. I think building big networks, but always in a way that is grounded in local communities and building from the bottom up. Great. Okay. Thanks to Stefanos. It's really amazing talking to you today. Thanks to Zofia Gertin for editing. We've got more episodes coming up exploring mountain heritage in Greece from a whole range of other perspectives. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do share our podcast with others. Have a look at our other episodes. You can follow us on social media or get in touch directly via the Mountains of Greece project website. You might also like to have a look at the separate website for the broader Mountain Stories, Mountain Futures project that the series is a part of. You can follow the links to both of those in the episode notes. Thank you for listening.